to it. Puck juggling in front and in the crease, unable to pay dividends. We'll get a stop and play at the 4:23 mark here in the first.
Yeah, and just, read that, looking at the goaltender and my message to the players would be, shoot the puck and get it on net, because right there, bouncing off of him, not a clean look, see if we can't get him to get a little bit flustered.
Definitely need some more looks, I would say. Zimmerman tees one up. Deflected off the skate of Wade. Now sent into the corner of Hender. Plays a flyer all the way to the point, gathered by the right paw of McGrath. Shovels one in, bounces awkwardly behind the net. Leafs are in business here. That's Zimmerman. Tees it up again. One-timer deflected nicely. Just like you said, that was either Wade or Hender with the deflection in the front of the net. Good look by Zimmerman. That's exactly what we need to do, Coach.
Yeah, and then right now they're just having Wade set up there in the front, get it, let Hansen and Hender, do the dirty work, get it back to the D, and then, Dom's been just sitting there in front, just kind of taking the eyes away, and then, had a nice little tip.
Hender behind the net. Wrestles. Wins a couple battles. Hansen, good one.
There it is.
Man, I'll tell you, Hender did some dirty work.
Yep.
Hansen stopped, steered, poised himself, and Wade finished it off. And just like that, the 3:45 mark here in the first, 1-1.
That was a great job by all three forwards down low. Getting into the corners, using each other, moving the puck around. Wade did a good job of just being in front, having position of his stick, ready for a pass to come, and was able to just get it elevated enough to pop it over. But I think that was a good power play all around, all five guys. Previous to that, they were getting back to the D. The D were getting shots nice and low where there was tips. So good power play by the Oak Leafs in response.
Yeah, each of them played a role in that goal without question. The battles that Hender won previous to the goal were superseded by a couple battles he won before that to continue that play on. And then Hansen stood poised, sent one in front of the net, and Wade finished it off. So just like that, the Jets, no matter how much they've controlled this one, it's a 1-1 game at Wells Fargo Arena.
With the assist number 20, Ben Hansen. And the assist number 40, Jason Hinder. That's 16 from 20 and 40.
16 from 20 and 40. That comes from the big fella, Doug Borrud. That's exactly how we saw it in our crow's nest view here at Wells Fargo Arena. Wade ties this thing up at one apiece, and here come the Leafs from right to left. Just escapes Gooding's stick, now played back in the defensive zone by Kansas City. Only 2:42 left to go here in the first period. Slot off the shins of Springer. Broken now lost sight of it for the Leafs. Now they're dangerously left it in front again. Played furthermore into the corner. That's Spikers to Gooding. Gooding hauled down. Nothing there, but they did get enough to dump it back in. Or check by Hill goes sailing into the boards. Back by the net where Spikers controls. Hill joins the fray. Leafs look scrappy right now. It's a good sign. 2:10 to go in the first. Zimmerman steps up, takes the body, leaves it in, and he's going to probably get an elbowing or some sort of an interference call, Coach.
Yeah, he interfered there. He, instead of going to play the puck, he went to play the body, and if he would have just put his stick up on or kept his stick down on the ice, had put his stick onto the puck, and then shifted his waist onto the player, it wouldn't have been an interference call because he's been shielding the puck and playing the puck. Without that, it's going to be a quick power play for Kansas City, which is number 1 in the league on power play. So we got our work cut out. We're number 6 penalty killing, but if we get back to the way we were killing penalties earlier on in the year, we should be able to contain Kansas City.
Face-off happens just outside the blue line, right and adjacent to the Kansas City goaltender. It's Kinney, Kelty, Borrud, and Kissinger. Those are your 4 Rise pest control penalty killers. That comes right on goal where Stevens swallows it up. We'll try it again with the defensive zone face-off at the 152 mark. The penalty goes for 149, so it could potentially last the duration of the first period, hopefully if needed. Steered on and won by Kelty. Stabbed to the point, unable to get it past. Good pressure by Kinney. Picks his man at the red line. Stopped and controlled. Sent all the way down. Unable to get it through. Kansas City able to gather it. Send it to the red line. They're unable to set up thus far. 1:34 in the period left. Slot, look out. They left it in front of that. Good balance by Kelty to stay on his feet. Tap it forward. Send it outside the zone. Centering pass now will come all the way along the wing. McKinney confronts. Collision ensues. Able to escape it and get outside the blue line. Good pressure by the Leafs again. On the front. Now controlled by Kelty. Gathered by Borud. He sends it wide. Wing, look out. Centering pass, and it was a beauty. Could see that one setting up, but this will escape the zone. And the Leafs win battle number 1. 57 seconds to go. 1 minute flat left to go in the period itself. 1-1 game. Kansas City looks to engage. Leafs get a change. It's Gooding and Glock on the front line. McGrath and Michael on defense. Get a whistle and a stop and play. Going to bring this face off.
Yep.
Just outside the blue line, it looks like.
Yeah, so with that, there was an offsides, and then the Kansas City player came in, took a shot after the whistle onto Stevens. They gave him a game misconduct, and so that player will head to the penalty box for 2 minutes. We'll have a 4-on-4 for the remainder of this period for 49 seconds, and then a little bit of time going into the second, and then we'll get a little bit of a power play of our own.
Excellent penalty kill for the Leafs when they needed it the most. To the wing to McGrath. Plays it off the goal. Now gathered again by Michael. Michael will skate it, shovel it along. Leafs look passive right now in the 4-on-4. Sent along the glass and back in. Or McGrath will gather it. 24 seconds left to go in the first period. 1-1 game. It's McGrath, the right-hander. All the way to the boards, gets it outside the blue line. Unable to gather the red, now spins clear where McGrath's got it again. In the back front of his blade, he looks, continues on in. Slot with Gooding. Extra pass to the point. Michael tried to get it through, unable to make a low one happen. Glock putting on the pressure as well as the fleeting seconds of the first period leave us. And Leafs lead, or at least tied this one, 1-1 late here in that first period on a big goal by Wade.
Yeah, and just to get it back to 1-1, you don't want to get down, a couple goals to Kansas City and get them more momentum. So it was a good response. And then we'll have a minute 12 to start this next period on the power play. See if we can't get another one, another power play goal there. But we, kind of a synopsis of the whole first period. We need to be stronger on our sticks. I think we're giving up the puck a little bit easier than we need to. Especially when in a one-on-one battle, Kansas City's winning most of those, and we got to be able to come back into the second period. Strong on our sticks, nice hard crisp passing, catching the passes. Have confidence in your skill set. Possessing that puck.
So as we resume, Leafs on that one-man advantage. Tell you, the Leafs could have really folded quickly in this one. They give up that first early goal. Would have been, an opportune time to fold the tents, but they did not.
No.
They came back and honestly weathered the storm because it was all Kansas City for a long time until the Hender, Hansen, and Glock line were able to force something free with a heck of a play. And now since that point, in my opinion, it's been a coin flip.
Yep.
Both teams look like they're splitting the duties on both sides of the blue line.
And I think, where we're going to get most bang for our buck is kind of how our power play set up. Get that thing worked down low and then start feeding your points. And even on the 5-on-5, Kansas City has been dropping down their forwards, not really holding up close to our defensemen so they're open. Then it's just about, getting in front of the net, looking for, tips, taking away the goaltender's eyes and looking for the second chance opportunity.
Roland, Pospisil, and Shepard, Borud, and Michael are your 5 Leafs on the ice with a one-man advantage here for the next minute as we just start the second period in a 1-1 game. Ridden off by Michael on a good play. Into the corner they go. Taken almost to the point by Pospisil. Now finally does escape the point momentarily. They'll get it to the red line. Slapped back in by Kansas City, now controlled by Michael. Leafs looking to set this thing up with 43 seconds to go. I kind of think without the absence of Kucher, I agree with you, Coach. I think all of the power play lines have to work from bottom up. It's a different look.
Right.
Different look. Got to grind one, win one.
And I don't
Behind
mind
the net. No, I don't either.
Setting up your power play. I like that power play of setting up behind your net
Mm-hmm.
or behind the net, and then just kind of cycling it down. Because you're playing basically 3-on-2 there, and then you try to suck their top 2 guys down, and then it frees up your D to get a nice easy shot towards the net.
Along the wing they go. Leafs look to set it up. Steered into the air by Michael. Now gathered and controlled momentarily by Pospisil. Pop able to grab it, but not enough. And not long enough to continue on, and back comes Kansas City on a 2-on-2. Only 12 seconds left in this one-man advantage. Stevens forced to make a save. The 13:56 mark here in the second period, a 1-1 game. Unable to set up that power play.
Yeah, but it came down to who wanted the puck, a one-on-one battle. Kansas City wanted over us, and we just got to get stronger on that. Knocking them off the puck and keeping it on our stick and those little things.
Center on now skated by Wade. He scored the first goal of this one. Hender was a little bit premature getting over the blue line. They'll try it again. Faceoff come just outside the blue line, left and adjacent to the goaltender from Kansas City as he's looking at it from right to left on your YouTube screen. Hansen will take the draw. Hender to his right, Wade to his left. That's Zimmerman, McGrath on defense. Those are your 5 Leafs on the ice. Hayden Stevens, the goaltender for the Leafs. Wade looks to chop it through. Scrum ensues just in front of us here and on the red line, and Kansas City comes up with it. They play it back all the way around. Sails slowly behind the net where Hender will engage, grab it, send to Wade on the wing. Wade shoveling pass, wanted to get Hansen free. Now Hansen's got a shot if he hustles. Into the corner they go. Sailing goes Hansen. Confronted on a good confrontation by Wade, stolen. Hansen with the puck, front, wanted Hender. Teed up by McGrath, sent in there. Good work again by the forwards on this line. Back they come in along the right wing. Tap to the corner. McGrath able to step up with confrontation momentarily. Now Zimmerman controls and pirouettes in his own defensive zone. Here comes Zimmerman, the right-hander from Urbandale. Sets it to Hender. Hender off the back of his blade, wanted to dump and chase, didn't get everything on it that he wanted. Kansas City able to control with a nifty breakout, get it to the blue line. Poked ahead and stolen by McGrath. Now gathered, Leafs look discombobulated here all of a sudden. Kansas City now will shovel it in and finally finish off the dump and chase they wanted earlier at the 12:33 mark. Along the wing they work. Centering pass, and it's a good one. No one there to pick up the pieces. Unimpeded in front. Boy, good short shot right on Stevens. He's able to smother that one with his glove and put it down. Looked like a defensive breakdown there to me, Coach.
Yeah, and we're not covering it up. Guys, we kept our feet just standing still, and we're just moving our heads and just watching to see, what Kansas City was going to do rather than going after the puck and just putting a body on and taking sticks away and passing lanes. We weren't doing that.
It's Kenny Kelty and Glock on the front line for the Leafs. It's Michael Springer, I believe, on defense for the Leafs as they work out of their defensive zone. It is. Tap now along the corner where Kelty will control. Look to skate it. It's Will Kelty. The DCG left-hander. He's got the red. He continues on. Feisty move got it all the way there, now giving up along the red line. Sent in the corner by Michael. Gathered by Glock. Leafs looking to break the zone, get something going. Good feed to Kelty, and here he comes. The left-hander. Ridden off the puck. He's got Kinney in front. One-timer. Comes all the way around the net. Now we've got an on-mad rush. Good confrontation by Borrud. Body and all. Kinney on a back check, able to dig it out of there. Into the corner they go where Kelty will have the puck on his stick again. Turns and looks. Unable to free it up along the wing. Kansas City now controls. Centering pass broken up on a stick by Kinney. Topped in front, look out. Chance, Borrud able to steal that one. Finally, the Leafs looked like they were in duress. He'll shovel it on in. A sent where Borrud traps it in. Sent along the wing, and now we got a man loose. One-on-one against Stevens, they got him. On the stick side, the low side. And just like that at the 11:06 mark here in the second period, Kansas City takes the lead 2-1.
Right, and that's just breakdown on us. And, and not doing the little things. We get across the red, we feel that pressure, and we don't have numbers. We got to get that thing all the way deep, and we turned it over, right on the blue line going in the offensive zone. And they were, Kansas City, there was a change, and we didn't recognize that, and so we didn't see anybody floating behind us, and they just put it in space, and the forward coming off the bench was able to get a 1-on-0 break to our goaltender, and so we weren't able to make the stop, and so we have to get back in this game by cleaning stuff up.
That's Rowland. Pinched in, confronted by Pospisil. Now sent all the way back along and behind the net. All the way to the wing. They look to break the zone. Trapped in momentarily, now given up again. Now there's a wrestling match along the corner. Kansas City wins momentarily, now sends it along their boards. It's Borud. Trapped in, kept in by Kansas City. Now broken off by Shepard as he goes to work along the wing. Loses control, taps it in off the back of his blade. The 10:27 mark here. The second period. Shots on goal say 8 apiece. I haven't paid enough attention to notice. There hasn't been a lot of shots, I will say that. So it's probably fairly accurate.
Yeah. And we're going to get a tripping call here in Kansas City to get us back up onto a power play. Right now, we're 1-3 on the power play. See if we can't, muster something in the back of the net on this one. We got an offensive face-off, so key piece here right now is going to be can Rowland win this face-off, get it back, and be able to move it around, get back to our D, a nice low shot.
Gooding will center the puck with Rowland and Shepard to his right and left. That's Michael and Borud on defense. Borud's got a chance here in the slot. Good extra feed. Chance. Puck there, slithered through the crease. They stopped and blew a quick whistle. Good pressure by the Leafs. Had Borud in a really good spot there up and in the slot. He elected, instead of firing one, to slide one through, and it almost worked out.
Yeah, and they put Gooding there with Rowland and Shepard. Gooding is a pretty good draw guy, and see if Rowland can't win this one.
Sent out and battle won by Kansas City. 1:45 left for the Leafs to try to get something going on the one-man advantage. Michael snared off the puck behind the net, and a good pesky forecheck by Kansas City, but he's able to gather it. Plays an aerial, unable to make it happen. Tap now sent to center ice, and all the way back it goes. Kansas City wins battle number 2, the 9:40 mark here in the second period. 1:20 left to go in the one-man advantage for the Leafs. Look like they're just a little uncertain on how to get this thing started, and it didn't start with a good catch and pass there. Now back in the corner, now given up awkwardly. Their own defensive zone. Tapped out on a great forecheck by Kansas City. It's either a lot of Kansas City or a little amount of Oak Leaf so far in this power play. Centering pass, they wanted Gooding. Unable to get him. Turn centered. Chance front. Awkwardly in front. Good quick shot there by Gooding, I believe it was. It was Rowland. Fired one on net, got an opportunistic rebound, and Leafs almost turned the tables on what at that point was a horrible, horrible power play. Almost able to snare one at the very end of that little fella.
Right, and what we're just missing is we're just not, go back to it again, just being strong on our sticks, and we're trying to be a little bit too precise with things, and we just got to have a little bit more energy when we have possess the puck and moving the puck around.
Played along the glass to where Wade engages. Sent right back in, right off the chest to Zimmerman. Comes Ethan. He'll shovel it in and chase it. Along the boards. Zimmerman now wins the battle behind the net. Plays a nice little pass to Hender. Hender's got all day. Surveys, goes to the point. Hansen shovels one in, deflected in front again. And Zimmerman and Wade in front of the net. Nifty move by the Leafs. McGrath, one-timer. That escapes the zone to the right. Good pressure by the Leafs here. The fleeting seconds of this power play. 9.87 seconds left to go. Zimmerman slot, one-timer. Wanted Wade again, who's tying up a lot of space in front of that net. McGrath now pinches. Hansen joins the fray. Both teams at full strength. Best look they had there was the last 30 seconds of that power play. 2-1 Kansas City leaves. 2-on-1 now. Wide open look out. They wheeled and dealed and they bought, and they got Stevens Kansas City leads 3-1, and again a poor exchange by the Leafs leads to a goal for Kansas City at the 7:56 mark, 3-1.
Yeah, we got too deep and too deep down. Lost contain of the puck there in the corner, and they were able to break it out and got a 2-on-1. And then we didn't have a back check. Not really sure where the other defenseman ended up at, but should not have, in that case, should not have had a 2-on-1 break on that, have that much ice to work with. So
Gooding, Hill, and Spikers in the front line. Michaels and McGrath on defense. Spikers in defense. Those are your 5 Leafs on the ice as they move from left to right. Now played in the corner. Shoveled on by Michaels. Given up. One-timer again. Front of the net dangerously. Look out. Lots of late swats and attempts there by Kansas City as they're there on the doorstep again. Now they work behind the net. Dug out of there. The back of the blade by Springer, able to force it almost to the blue line, but not enough. Stevens has seen enough of that. Puts a fork in it at the 7:19 mark. Leafs need to think of something here to change the momentum of this one.
Well, right now we're turning it over to just we're all trying to do everything by ourselves. We're not using each other. There were times to be able to, go to a D to D, and then we don't, and then we cycle it back, and then we're taking it up where all the traffic is at. We gotta find ways to be trusting each other and moving the puck around to where the open areas are.
Kansas City goes to work now in their offensive zone. Along the wing they go, broken up. Good play by Glock to force that one free. Gets all the way to the red line. Now sent back in. The Leafs have to look and exchange, and they'll go again. Kansas City attacking from right to left. Unable to keep it in his Borud. Tried to play one back to McKinney, could engage, and he's able to check it back in. The Leafs will try a dump and chase along the boards. Broken up on a nice play by Kelty. Along the wing they go. Chip pass able to get there. Caught between Kinney's legs. Shovels back in. The Leafs will turn and try it again. Check to the wing. Good outlet pass. Just missed his man. Now tapped ahead by Kissinger. Controlled by Kinney in front of the referee and on the red line. Zach Kinney goes to work. Along the wing. Continues on. Takes it behind the net. Stops, looks. Centering pass. Beauty to Kelty. One-timer with Pospisil crashing as well. Good look by the Leafs, paid no dividends. But it'll garner an offensive zone face-off at the 6:15 mark here in the second.
Yeah, it was a good look right there, getting it up to Kelty in that high slot area. I think he had a little bit more time, and it didn't have to be as quick, but you want the quick shot also just to get it towards the net. You had a guy there sitting in front in case there's a rebound, so good work there.
Pospisil, Rowland, and Shepard on the front line, Board and Kissinger on defense. Those are your 5 Leafs on the ice. Now the Leafs are in trouble. Along the wing they go. Kansas City tuck pass and a good one. Good save by Stevens. Kicked that one to his left on a point-blank shot from the slot. Again in front. Stevens forced to kick that one aside. 5:53 and counting here in the second period. Leafs down 3-1. Played to Rowland. Wanted Pospisil. Unable to gather him. Forward now. And a good little look there to Rowland. He'll dump it the rest of the way in, see if the Leafs can get something going. Good confrontation by May Pop. Still on the back of his blade. Behind the net. Miss Shepard behind the net. Unable to gather it. Played now to the wing. When McGrath was waiting, he kept it in. Trapped. One-timer. Unable to make it happen, but good effort again by the Leafs. They're putting some pressure on here. They could really use a goal before the second ends. Tapped over Zimmerman. Pinches and plays it in off the back of his blade. Confronted by Shepard. The right-hander. Front of the net controls with his body. Centering pass awkwardly. Chopped in front. Laid there for a moment. Confronted by McGrath. Leafs unable to keep it in. Here comes Kansas City again. They work along the left wing. Tuck pass. Aerial went over the net. Over the stick side of Stevens. That's still there again as well. Good effort by the point. That one found its way all the way to the crease. Now the Leafs are control and send it along the right wing where Hansen does damage in battle. McGrath joins the fray as well. Confronted by McGrath. Scrum ensues to the right of Stevens. Now finally escaping is Zimmerman. Played one to Hender on the wing. He tips it in. He'll chase it that much more and further. We'll get a stop and play at the 4:23 mark. That was icing? Wow, I
It
thought
was
he,
a nice thing. We tipped it on the other side
All
of the red line. If we were able to play it a little bit more than just kind of a tip, may not have been an icing call. But needless to say, we got 4:23 left here. We needed something offensively, kind of get the momentum going back into our direction by the end of this period.
played the Wade along the wing. Snapper by Kansas City, kicked aside by Stevens. Tucked in on the corner. Scrum ensues. Wade looks to ding it out. Hansen joins the fray as well. It's Wade and Hansen. With Michael standing guard, he's able to get a stick on it. Now sent furthermore along. Now finally will escape the zone, and Wade's got it on the red line. Wade will dump it in, and the Leafs will look for a change and a dump and change as well. Stabbed along the wing. An aerial to get it out. Caught. Back of the blade. Off the ref, and finally ended in the Oak Leafs bench to stop and play at the 3:41 mark here in the second period. Shots on goal say 11 each.
Yeah, and we've had great opportunities on the shots that we've had. We just haven't been able to get the break of being able to beat the goaltender, but we also haven't had the breaks that Kansas City has been able to create with their goals. It's a lot of been just 1-0 or odd man rushes towards us. We've had to really work for the one goal that we had.
Here comes Hill. It's got the red line. Tees one up. Offensive zone face-off for the Leafs. It'll happen at the 3:26 mark here in the second. It's Hill, Gooding, and Spikers on the front line. Gooding on the draw. Sent all the way back around. Good aerial and escape there. Michaels now joins, looks to pinch. His line mate Springer there as well. Offsides and a whistle and a stop and play. We'll try it again. Both teams getting wholesale changes for the last 3 minutes of this one. Boy, how big would it be for the Leafs to get a goal here going into the third? You don't want to be down by 2 with that.
Right, it's a huge thing for us to be able to just get a goal here late and then, just have a little bit of that momentum. But it's not the end of the world. We've been here before against Kansas City, where they've, got a 2-goal lead on us and had 4 unanswered, and we could have folded there, and we came back and was able to finish. But we just need to get things going and see if we can't get a break somewhere.
It's Kinney, Kelty, and Spikers, or Kinney, Kelty, and Glock on the front line. Zimmerman and McGrath on defense. These are your 5 Leafs in the ice. Tackled on by Kinney to Glock to Kelty. Unable to continue on. Now Kansas City will break the zone along the red line. They'll dump it in. 2:54 and counting. That's Zimmerman, the right-hander from Urbandale. Back fronter's blade. He's tackled on from behind the net. Now controlled by Kelty as he looks to skate it. Kelty able to advance it along the boards, but not far enough to get it out. Now gathered by Zimmerman, where he'll try it again. Stolen by Kansas City again. Front of the net, look out. So now Glock's finally able to get a hold of it and send that one way into the sky and actually into the Kansas City bench. The 2:29 mark here. Second period. Defensive zone face-off to the left. Kelty. Tackled upon. McGrath. Back of his blade. Glock unable to force it out. Controlled by Kansas City again. Front now stabbed by Glock. Controlled and potentially skated and finally outside of the zone. Kelty's able to get it. Both sticks flaying and frying as Kelty's actually left his stick on the ace. Good play by McGrath to thwart that effort. 2:07. Kansas City controls now in their defensive zone. Pressure put on by Kinney. Able to keep it into Glock. Glock again. One more time. Good work by Kinney to keep it in, and Glock to follow up. Looked like the Leafs may have caught a little bit of a break there.
Yeah,
we'd have taken a goal, but
yeah, and we would have taken that goal, but I think we didn't keep that puck in. We got lucky that we didn't get caught with an offsides.
Kansas City now looks. They wheel and deal along the wing. Confronted by Zimmerman. Skated by Pospisil. caught traffic, but it deflected in Roland's direction. Now he's working on it along the blue line. To the red to McGrath. Gathered by Roland. Given up. 1-on-1. Zimmerman takes his man down at the blue line. McGrath picks up the pieces. Now we've got a whistle and a stop and play at the 1:07 mark here in the second.
Yeah, you went a little bit too low on the Kansas City player and kind of tripped him up, and so Zimmerman will go back to the sin bin for 2-minute penalty here. But 1:07 left in this period. Now we just need to get out of this period without giving up anything. Don't let Kansas City set up and carry another goal into the third period.
Yeah, pivotal moment here for the Leafs. There's a minute left in the period, 2 minutes on the penalty. You want to get through this one for sure. Anything you can to get out of this period before the scrape without giving up the fourth goal and a 3-goal disadvantage. As Kansas City works below on a great give and go. Sent outside, and Borg got it all the way out of there. Good work by Cade. 47 seconds and counting left to kill on this one. It's Pospisil and Roland on the front line. It's Borrud and Michael on defense. Those are your 4 penalty killers for the Leafs. Sent into the corner. Tapped by Michael. Now given up behind the net as they look to deal. Wide open in the slot. They pass it up for a shot to the point. Back they go again. Good patience by Kansas City. Stick on it by Roland. I think he's able to deflect that one. Pospisil able to clear it all the way back down the ice. 9-8-7 seconds left to go here in the second period, and the Leafs look like they're going to escape any further damage. Hopefully. And they are. So the second period is going to come to an end. The Leafs down 3-1. There'll be 53 seconds left to kill on the penalty. Shots on goal 13 in favor of the Leafs to 11 for Kansas City. Coach, what are your thoughts going into the third here?
Well, Kansas City's just done a nice job of not letting us leave free of our defensive zone and not allowing any odd man rushes going down the ice, and so their defensive crew is doing a very good job. They're not pinching, they're holding the things back, but their forwards are being able to move the puck and keeping us slowed down from getting a good release out of our defensive zone. And then for us, we've given up 3 odd man rushes or breaks for Kansas City, and they've converted in all 3 of those opportunities. And so that's the kind of the tale of the two things that are going on, and we have to be able to fix that going forward into this next period if we want to get back into this, and we may need to start taking a little bit of chances where we have guys flying the zone, but you gotta read that, and you gotta be on the same page. The defenseman has a nice clear, then you gotta start breaking it. But Kansas City's gonna play that game. They have nothing to lose. They don't have to pinch, and so they're just gonna. You see somebody flying, their 2 defensemen are probably just gonna go back, which should then open up a cleaner break to come out. But again, you gotta be on the same page to get all that stuff done.
We'll be back for the third and final. Leafs find themselves down 3-1. Dan Kinney and you're waiting the call.
How'd we look? How'd Wade look? Oh, I gotta turn my head.
All right, back up and on. Third and final period here. Kansas City clinging to a 3-1 lead against the Des Moines Oak Leafs at Wells Fargo Arena. Dan Kinney and Andrew Wade. Coach, I'll tell you what, we stammered for a while, then had a great goal by Wade to put us right back in it, then slumped a little bit on defense, gave up a couple of goals, gave Kansas City a 2-goal lead. What do we need to do to get back into this one in the third and final?
Well, step number one is going to be to kill the rest of this 53-second penalty. That is going to be step one. And then step two is going to be we got to get more pressure. We got to get cleaner releases out of our zone and then into their zone and then getting some high-quality shots. And then, usually I would say, the last 5 minutes is kind of where you start taking chances, but we might need to start a little earlier than that.
Yeah.
And being able to flee our zone a little bit. We might have to pinch a little bit more. But we got to be smart when we do that. But we got to come up with body and or puck when we do that. And so, maybe around the 10-minute mark is when we start taking chances to find a way to get an odd man rush somewhere.
So the Leafs going to open on a penalty kill. Glock, Hender, Borud, and Michael are your 4 penalty killers for the Leafs as we start the third period. Got 48 seconds that you absolutely have to saw off here. They control behind their own net now along the wing. Unable to advance it and get it out. Behind the net it goes. Playing catch, but no shots yet. 28 seconds. Now the first one comes in. It's dangerously in front. Stevens forced to scramble. Now Hender going to get a hold of this one. He's able to get it outside the zone, but not much more. And a good catch by the Kansas City defenseman. They shovel it back in. Poked where Michael will send it. Tried to shovel along, now giving up. Awkwardly in the neutral zone and open in the slot is Kansas City, and a great feed. Good save by Stevens. He slid over to his left, kicked that one aside, and a nice play by Kansas City. And now both teams are at full strength at the 14-minute mark. Leafs need a goal early here in this period. Kicked into the air by Stevens. In the corner comes Zimmerman, just freshly in off the penalty. Tackling the corner. Zimmerman forces it through the official and through 2 Kansas City defenders, but now trickles back in the zone where McGrath forced to try to pick up the pieces along the corner. That's what you run into at the start of these periods, especially after the fresh scrapes. Seems like it takes everybody a long time to get their footing, and here's Kansas City. And then by the time you get it, you got 12 minutes left. For the team that's behind, that's not what you want. That's Glock. It's got Kinney in a 2-on-1. Glock. Feed. Kinney, one-timer. Almost had him. Great feed by Glock. Good shot by Kinney, but to no avail. 13-11. This remains still a 3-1 game in favor of Kansas City. Here they come on a 2-1 of their own. Trickle it all the way through where Stevens will put a fork in this one. First good effort of the third period came from the Leafs, unable to knock it in, Coach.
Yeah, and, like you were saying, get your footing, but it's hard to get your footing when you got a penalty kill for the first minute of the period. Great opportunity. We were able to catch Kansas City kind of on a line change, got an opportunity to get an odd man rush, just wasn't able to convert. But, the goalie for Kansas City, who's probably the number one goalie in the league, comes up with a huge save, and there's probably a reason why he's number one.
Yeah, it was a good feed from Glock to Kinney there just about 30 seconds ago. Would have drawn this thing to 3-2. Back in the corner they go. It's directly behind the net. Tucked in front now, stolen. Skated by Pospisil. Now he stops and parks it along the red line. Puck given up, now sent back to the right where Kansas City now works beneath their own goal. They're able to escape to the wing and now to the blue line with little or no pressure. Now they'll chop it back in, go to work on their offensive zone. Free and easy there that was. Able to take it all the way in to the point. They spray it around. Front of the net, look out, that thing's loose in front. Stevens trying to anticipate who's going to get chops on that. Now we got some action, little tomfoolery, if you will. Front of the net, 12:08 mark, stop and play.
Yeah, we're getting it. It's easy for Kansas City once they get in their offensive zone because we're putting too much pressure with too many guys onto the puck, and so then we overskate things, which then allows them to be able to just transition it to some open ice and then be able to get nice clean looks and clean shots. to put it out front. We just got to be able to let guys do what their job is and stay spread out and anticipate that the puck's going to go back into your zone where you're going to have to cover and then be able to do your positional job.
Kissinger along the wall. Hansen with a little swipe at it to get it outside the zone. Followed up again by Hinder. He's able to force it into the offensive zone. At least able to carry it no further than that. 11:48 to go. They need something quick. Wrestled on and a good play behind the net by the Leafs again. That's Hinder now. Short side shot. It's going to kick and just finally escape the zone and steered into the Kansas City bench by Borud. A stop and play at the 11:33 mark here in the third and final.
Yeah, a lot of times we're just getting sucked over too much on one side of the ice, all 5 of our guys. So when it does get all the way across, we're late to get there. And Kansas City keeping one guy, over on the weak side, and so they're able to get to those loose pucks first. We got to be able to change a little bit of what we're trying to do in our setup.
That's Kissinger wrestling behind the net over the right shoulder of Stevens. Hansen now controls the puck, unable to get it out of there. Kansas City comes away with it. Won a couple battles there in the corner, able to control it. Now they've got it again along the wing. A lot of stuff from close quarters. Leafs got to watch it here. They're going to put this one away on them. 3-1. They're behind. Kicked ahead by Wade, unable to advance it. Borud now finally. I kind of agree with the big fella.
Yeah.
At some point, you got to get it out of there. They're playing catch 6-8 feet in front of the goal.
Right. And right now, Kansas City, our wings are locked on the board. They're just locking another guy, and when we're locked up, we got to recognize we can't get the puck there. We got to get somebody drawn. We got to draw that guy off you, and so the Deans might have to do a little bit more of taking the ice when they see that crease. Take it and take it to as far as you can, and then someone's got to cut across to give them a good pass outlet.
That's Springer. That's Zimmerman carrying the puck. He's got it again now on the blue line. Good pass effort by Zim. Escapes to the red now. The Leafs will control. Unable to feed it to his line mate McGrath, and this will come all the way back down. Where Stevens will put a fork in it. McGrath will send it back to Springer, and he'll set sail. Leaves it along the feet. Now he's got it again. Springer looks to skate it. Able to get it to the blue line, now the red, where Gooding helps force it through. They shovel it in. That's Spikers now on the forecheck, unable to continue on. He's the one that carried the puck. Trapped in the corner. Good play by Spikers and Hill, but they couldn't come up with the puck. Chopped along the bench. Now controlled in the defensive zone. Sent to Zimmerman. Zimmerman looks to poke it forward and skate it. Able to get in the zone. This is Glock. Ooh, just offside. Had Kelty crashing. Good effort by Zimmerman to force it down in there.
Yeah, and then going to force it. Then after that, took a cross check. So we're going to go down a man and have to go back on the penalty kill. This will be Zimmerman's third penalty, and so just need to watch that. Kind of keep in the back of your mind that if he goes back out and somehow gets a check-in from behind, that's a 10-2. And if that's it gets to that 5 penalty threshold, that's a game suspension. You lose him for tomorrow. So kind of watch that and the way he's playing. So you gotta kind of communicate that, make sure that he's got that little nugget of information in the back of his head.
Almost to the point in this one where even at 4-on-5, you might want to take some chances. The 9-minute mark down by 2, you got to get some offense. It's Kansas City's offside. It's Kinney and Glock on the front line. It's Borud and Michael on defense. Those are your 4 rise pest control penalty killers.
Yeah, and the only time you take a chance here is if you get a defenseman, kind of deep in your corner and they have nobody around them, they have time to set up and get the puck down. And you got to be on the same page. That's where the flip through the zone, and someone's got to be just taking a chance and releasing, in a full skate.
Good forecheck by Michael there, joined by Glock. No giving up along the wing. Look out. Slot, they got Stevens. Good glove save by Stevens. We got some action behind the play that drew a whistle. Now they're still having conversation, and someone is going to go into the penalty box for Kansas City, going to even this thing up.
It looks like it's going to be a double or both Kansas City and the Oakley. So Kansas City will still stay on the power play as it's coincidental minors, probably for roughing. there. So, the only benefit there is number 2 for Kansas City is their goal scoring leader, and probably has the most power play points. And so for him to go in the box is better than anybody else on Kansas City. So
Along the wing they go. Steered into the corner. Sent to the point by Kinney. Tapper, one-timer, almost deflected in the net. Now Borward looks to escape the zone. He's able to get it out.
Right there was an opportunity where Borward was picking up that puck. We could have had somebody take off if they would have recognized it. He had that little bit of time, to be able to then shoot it down the other end with us releasing. Neither one of our forwards recognized it. Neither one of them released from the zone.
Let's get all the way to the red line. Kansas City controls in their own defensive zone. Rubbed off momentarily by Hansen. Controlled by Kelty as he'll send it all the way back down. Come just to the right of the goaltender. He actually puts a stick on it. 30 seconds left in the one-man advantage. 8:15 left to go in the game itself. Kansas City leads 3-1. Now they've entered the offensive zone with speed along the wing. Controlling it again. Send it below the net. One-timer and a great feed. Man, nice look by Kansas City right through the slot. Winger missed the net high into its right side. Well, that could have been the final nail in the coffin. 7:44 and counting. Shots on goal, 14-13, relatively even. Kansas City, the lead on the big board, 3-1. Tackled, confronted behind the net. Hansen joins the fray. Springer's there as well. To the wing it goes. Hansen able now to grasp it, send it just outside the blue line, but no further. Now controlled by the Leafs as McGrath now has some space to exploit, and he'll do it. He'll take the red. He'll ask for the blue off the back of his blade. Into the corner he goes, plays a soft roller, where Hansen goes sailing, and now he's going to be hauled down. I believe that was Roland. Roland hauled to his back, and we could have a tripping call, and the Leafs could go on a much-needed power play at the 7:07 mark here in the third.
Yeah, absolutely, and Kansas City's going to go in. It was a hooking call, drug rolling down there in the corner. I think right now with the 3-1, the way the game has kind of been played all game, this is a crucial power play where we need a goal coming out of this one.
Roland, Shepard, Pospisil, Borward, and Michael. Those are your 5 Leafs on the ice for the power play. Ankeny auto body power play. Point. That's Borward in the slot. Dangerous there. Caught traffic, but gathered along the wing. Controlled by Michael. Back of his blade into the corner to Pospisil. Taken off the puck, but picked up by Shepard. They've given up again. Leafs trying to do some battles in front. Unable to advance it to the front of the net or control it long enough to make a good play on that. And now they'll have to try it again. They've got minute 18 seconds left to still try to narrow the margin here, if you will. Down 3-1. Rolling the closest to it behind the net. Into the corner they go, confronted. Doesn't reach the point on a good effort by Roland. Just skips over the stick of Pospisil. Is able to steal it. That's Shepard. One-timer. Beauty on a tip. Roland there as well. Unable to make it happen and sent outside the crease and all the way down the net. Good effort by the Leafs to put one on goal. Able to knock that one back in. Gathered by Wade. Wade skates it in. He had the first goal of the game. And only for the Leafs for that matter. Kansas City able to break the zone fairly easily. Then unorthodox, send it into their own net. That had been a good chance to almost kill this thing off if they could have sent it all the way down.
Yep, and so that gives, unfortunate for us, it was inside the zone, so it would give us an offensive face-off. 25 seconds left in the power play. It'd be nice to be able to kind of win this thing back. Maybe win it right behind Hansen. Dom can come across, get it over to Zimmerman with Hinder, then get in front, and Zimmerman get a nice low shot, and then start crashing the net.
Offensive zone face-off to the right of the goaltender, taken by Hansen. Kansas City wins that battle. Come all the way back down where Stevens puts a fork in it. Only 16 seconds and counting. So for all intents and purposes, Kansas City's going to escape the deficit they had here. The one-man advantage for the last 2 minutes. And the penalty. Zimmerman able to skate it in, but not enough, and it's going to come all the way back down and around. Watch decide where Kissinger. Now we got 5 minutes to go, and we're going to need one the standard way. Played back in. And a peppering shot that rolls all the way around. Zimmerman the first to confront. Checks it all the way back down around the net. Warhender sends it back down in the direction it came from. Wade along the corner wrestles with it. Scrum ensues to the right of the goaltender Stevens. Still there. No one able to gain a definite advantage. To finally able to be poked out where Wade controls along the blue line. Well, he's confronted along the red line, and back comes Kansas City in the slot. Shot goes wide. It's come all the way to the point and actually escape the zone. Left there. Gooding and Hill do battle. Hill off the back of his blade and sent in by Hender. Icing calling a stop and play with only 4 minutes to go. Leafs unable just to gather it, coach, and get control of the puck and make anything happen at this point.
We're just we get into our feet and we're unable to dig it out, and a lot of that is just our hands, and use of our stick, and then when we do get control of it, then we're making a play that just putting it back into traffic, and that's just not going to work. You got to be able to support the puck carrier. You got to be able to put the puck into a space for guys to work with it. And sometimes that's the guy giving the pass, but a lot of the times it's the guy who's trying to receive the pass. You're not getting yourself in a good position to support the puck carrier.
Gooding, Spikers, and Hill on the front line for the Leafs. It's Kissinger and Michael on defense as your 5 Leafs in the ice. 3:45 and counting. They're down 3-1. They need something quickly. Wrestled off the puck behind the net. Kansas City controls. Chopped, offensive zone, still in front. Look out. Short side save by Stevens, able to get the paw on it, keep it out of the net. Still 3-1. Front now where Gooding controls. He's able to skate it, leave a soft one for Spikers, and he's got the red and he's got some space. Spikers off the shin guard, turns, Hill, choppy one, unable to make it happen. Gooding, back of his blade, sent to the wing. Now controlled by Kansas City as they're able to break the zone and have a little space of their own along the blue line at the 3:11 mark. Danz is in front, sends a soft one into the corner. Scrum ensues with referee and all. Spit back along and sent along to where Kelty able to grab it along the wing. To Glock, tried to check it to Kinney to get him going, unable to get it going. And back comes Kansas City, and some good balance and puck work there in front of the net. Confronted now in the corner. Scrum ensues to the right of the goaltender. It's Kinney and Kelty on the puck. Now taken off it is McGrath. Sent to where Kelty will skate it. Here comes Will, the Thrill, the right-hander. The left-hander from Dallas Center. He steered off the puck in an awkward one. 2-on-1 break for Kansas City. Stevens, they try the 5-hole. He sews it up. That was a good save by Stevens at the 2:25 mark here in the third period. If the Leafs are able to get back into this one, earmark that moment.
Right, absolutely. And I think going into this period, we had 13 shots, and so this period we've had 2 shots on goal, and that's not going to be good enough, especially when you have a deficit of 2 goals. Offensively, we just haven't been able to muster anything, and a lot of it is self-inflicted. We get the puck and we might have a little bit of time, but we get rid of it right away, and we give it right back to Kansas City. It's not us making a play; it's just us getting rid of it. Trying to get it out of the zone, and we're just getting right back to Kansas City, and they can just continue to get it deep and work with the puck. We need to do a better job of being a puck support and making sure we get some passes going our way, and sometimes I like to say that's just kind of playing scared or panicking. When you have the puck, and you can't do that. You got to have confidence when you have the puck on your stick. And know that you probably at this time of year you should have learned that you have a little bit more time than what you really think. At the beginning of the year, you see those things where you get the puck off your stick a little quicker than needed, but by the time because of the speed of the game for some of the JV players, it's elevated. At this time of the year, that should have gone away, but we're still doing some of those little things.
So awkwardly, the clock has run out. Now they put 2:25 back on it. That's what's left in this game. 2 minutes, 25 seconds left in the junior varsity action here at Wells Fargo Arena. The Leafs down 3-1. See if they can get something going here. Kinney, Kelty, Glock, Pospisil, and Borud are your 5 Leafs on the ice. In the waning moments here, they need something quick. That's Borud. Tries to check it to Glock. Glock tries shoveling to Kelty, unable to get it through. Still in front of them, now controlled again where Glock's going to try to get it out. Gets Kinney free along the red line. Kinney sends it in, see if the Leafs can get something going here at the 2-minute mark. Centering pass in front. Sent to the wing. Confronted by Borud. Not enough to keep the puck in now, where Roland will send it along to where Kinney taps it in. Now tapped again by Pospisil. Taken out of the air by Kinney on the paw. All the way around the net he goes. Centering pass in front. Wanted Kelty. Unable to get there. 1:30 left and counting in this one. In Kansas City going to win the battle they need with this open net. Checked and sent all the way back around. Where Glock controls. Glock, an outlet to Kinney along the red line. Empty net for the Leafs. Kinney fought on the corner. Centering pass as well with Kelty on the sheet. Unable to get there. Puck found its way through the crease momentarily, but now escapes the zone. Minute 14 to go. Leafs 6 on 5. See if they can't tack a late one on here and make this one interesting. Behind the net it goes. Kelty. One-timer. Tucked front. They're there again. That went through the crease again, just unable to finish. This is going to come just to the right of the net. We'll get a whistle and a stop and play with only 54 seconds left in this one. So some pretty good efforts in the 6 on 5. Opportunities there. No dividends paid, Coach.
Right. And so I think right here, you know, with a 2-goal deficit, you need to get at least your goal down here in the next 25 seconds to give you enough time to get from the center of the ice to be able to pressure again off that face-off. So
offensive zone face-off. Borud slides one through. He's got it again. That one got all the way through. Zimmerman had a late swipe at it. That's Hender. Past Zimmerman to Shepard. Front of the net. Great centering pass to Hansen, unable to grasp it. Back they go. 37 seconds and counting. Leafs putting on the pressure. 6 on 5, empty net. Down by 2. Half minute now left in this one. Borud front again. Hansen with a late chop at it. Unable to get there. Shepard looks to continue on. Leafs win another battle, keep it in. Shepard sent one through the crease, no one there again. Borud steps up, pinches, sends another one in. Tapped by Zimmerman on a good deflection. Now a lot of action in front of the net. Good play by Borud. That was a heck of a save by the Kansas City goaltender.
Yeah, I thought that one went in.
And too.
You know, I was getting ready to say there it is, but he got it into his glove, but good pressure, you know, by the Oak Leafs. You know, just getting everything to the net, you know, and see what happens.
Would like to see some of that sense of urgency here a little before the last 30 seconds in this one. Now here comes Kansas City, and they're going to salt this one away. 4-1. Kansas City going to win this one. Next up is the varsity game, and that ought to be a good one too, as Kansas City sends a formidable team into that game as well. But the JV is going to drop this one, barring a miracle, by the score of 4-1. Team they beat in Kansas City last time they played them, but Kansas City comes out on the top end of this one. Final thoughts, Coach, before we sign off, go to the varsity action.
Well, I think it was just, you know, for us, you know, it was kind of self-inflicted. Some of the things that the goals that we gave up, you know, were just kind of misplays by us, and getting Kansas City free. When you get the #1 scoring team in the league, and they get odd man rushes or breakaways, they're going to be able to convert on those, and you can't give those up against a team like this. And so, and then for our end also, we just didn't play well enough. Kansas City came in and played well and shut us down and didn't give us anything clean, and anything that we were going to get, we had to really, really work for to get anything and get a couple of bounces our way. So, but it's not the end of the world. You know, this is one of the top teams in the league, and we're still there in the thick of things in the middle, working for seeding. And so, we'll get back at it tomorrow, see if we can't sneak one away from Kansas City and get 2 points that I think are ones that be great to have. It'd be a huge victory for us, tomorrow morning. And then after that, after tomorrow's game, then it's down the road of looking at hey, the rest of our schedule are teams that we've either beaten or they're below us in the standings, and so that's where we can kind of get some separation and maybe get some seeding points there for the end of the year tournament.
So stay tuned. Varsity's up next. Kansas City's in town at Wells Fargo Arena. We'll be back for all the action on a Saturday afternoon.